Hi. Okay, so now we are doing Wednesday's lesson. You may be watching this on Monday or you may be watching this on Wednesday. Either way is fine. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more completely about your citations. Like our Brain Pop said, it's super important to have citations. It gives credit to those authors and researchers who you've gotten your information from. And so it's really vital that you use these citations. Citations look a little different than anything you've seen before. They're not in a complete sentence, but it's weird because they use punctuation. And so here's an example of a book citation. You'll notice there's commas in certain spots. There's a period after the author's name. There's a period after the name of the book. There's a comma after the name of the publishing company and a period at the end of the line. So that's very common. They use punctuation. The easiest thing to do, there's two ways that you can do your citations. You can either look at my examples and just insert your information instead of mine and use the punctuation exactly the way I have it, or you can go to this Noodle Tools Express. Either way will get you a citation. Some of you may have some things very similar to what I have here. So you may want to use, for a couple of your citations, use what I have here. For example, if you used Pebble Go for Davy Crockett or Sam Houston, then I've got your citation right here. You would just have to change Davy Crockett to Sam Houston, and then you would have that completely fixed for you. Websites are a little more difficult because they're all a little bit different, and so you may want to use Noodle Tools Express for that. Book citations are pretty consistently the same. We have the author's name. Here you can see there's two authors. There's the name of the book, the publishing company, and the year it was published. This I've included because many of my students used Social Studies Weekly. We don't have an author for Social Studies Weekly because it's a compilation of many different researchers and educators putting these weeklies together. And so the example I have here is for Who Was Santa Anna? So this was the title of the article that I read in week 17, The Alamo, and the publishing company is Studies Weekly. It's not Social Studies Weekly, it's just Studies Weekly. And then this is the copyright year. They publish it each year, and so every calendar year they re-copyright it. And so it's up to date to the most current information, and so its copyright is 2020. So these are super helpful. I want to show you very quickly how to use Noodle Tools Express for if you're interested in doing it that way. So click on Noodle Tools Express link, and it takes you to this Noodle Tools Express page. It already has it opened to Noodle Tools Express MLA. You have to make sure that the format you're using is MLA. There's different types of formatting depending on who's researching, if you're in college or high school or elementary school. And for most elementary and up into high school, we use MLA. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cite the source. So I'm going to show you how to do a website. So I'm going to click, see how it has commonly cited. I'm going to click website and click create citation. So it takes me to this form here that I'm going to have to put in information from my website. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. I'm going to pull up this website right here. This is a website that we recommended on our research a couple weeks ago. So you may or may not have used it. It was the Texas State Library and Archives Commission. This particular article is about Stephen F. Austin. And so the first thing I need to do for my Noodle Express is it wants the URL. That would be the website, the web address right there. So I'm going to go back to my article and I'm going to copy my web address, and then I'm going to paste that right into the Noodle tool. Okay. Date of publication. I'm going to go back to my article. Usually the date might be on top, but it also might be on the bottom. In this particular article, it's on the bottom. So it says page last modified December 5th, 2017. So this is an article that was put together by using lots of factual texts and actually primary sources about and from Stephen F. Austin. And so this is kind of a compilation of things. So this page was last modified December 5th, 2017. So that would be the date that we would enter here. So date of publication, December 5th, 2017. Most recent date of access, which means when did I see it, and that's today. It said, is it today? Well, yeah, I can use that. Or if it was an earlier date, you could put that date in as well. Then I've got this little contributors thing. That is if there is an author. Now in this particular article, there really isn't an author. Again, this is just a compilation of things. And I used this as an example because you will often find websites that are actually good websites to use, but you can't really find an author. And that's because they've taken things from primary sources that it's just not one person compiling the information. Now, in this other article that I had used, just to show you an example, this one was a Juan Seguin article. There is an author here, and this is his name, Jesus F. de la Teja. That's his name. That's the author's name. So usually if there is an author, it will be at the top and it might be italicized or something to kind of set it off from the other words on the page. So there is no author, so we don't need to put that. Let's see what the next question is. Web page or document article title. So I'm going to go back to my website or my web page, and this is the title. It's Giants of Texas History, Stephen F. Austin. It even kind of has it in the web address, Giants Austin. So we want to put Giants of Texas History dash Stephen F. Austin. Giants of Texas History dash Stephen F. Austin. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, we don't need to worry about an English translation because it is in English. Name of the website. Okay, so we're going to go back and I will show you at the very top. Usually at the top of all of your articles will be the name of the website. So the name of this website is Texas State Library Archives and Archives Commission. So I'm going to quickly type that in, Texas State Library and Archives Commission. Publisher of the site. The publisher will often be down at the bottom. Let's see, where can I find that? So at the very bottom of the web page, there is a copyright date 2020 and the publisher, which would be or the owner of the web page, Texas State Library and Archives Commission. It is often the same as the name of the website, and it is for sure this time as well. So we'll just type that in again. The publisher is the same as the name of the website. Like I said, it won't always be that way, but it is this time. Okay. These other things we don't really need to worry about, and so I'm going to click and save, and there's my citation. It's done completely for me. They have done everything for me. They have put it in the right format, and it's good to go. Notice that if your citation goes into 2 lines, it does have that weird indentation. It goes in on the second line. That's so this part stands out for the reader. So that's a really important thing. So all you would need to do is copy and paste this directly into your slideshow. Okay, so that is how you use Noodle Tools Express. You really shouldn't have to do anything on your own. I have all of your sources here, or you can choose the Noodle Tools Express to create a citation. You don't need to do one on your own. The one thing I did forget to tell you is on Noodle Tools Express, if you do have a video that you need to cite, if you used a video for some information, there is a place where it says Cite Citation for videos. And so you just need to do it as a video, and it will let you do that. So if you have any questions, come to a helping hour. You can email me, do whatever you need to do. So good luck.